Well, when two allies don't completely agree, the entire world pays attention. The United States and Israel, they remain close strategic partners for years. But recent reports suggest that behind closed doors, there may be differences over what happens next in the conflict with Iran. According to multiple reports before supporting any fresh American military campaign against Tehran, Israel wants one clear assurance. If military action begins, it should not stop halfway. Israel wants any future operation to continue until its long-term security objectives are achieved. Now remember here, these reported conditions have not been officially confirmed by Israeli government. But if that is actually accurate, then they reveal an important difference in strategy. Here, Washington appears to believe that military pressure can be used to bring Iran back to the negotiation era. In other words, use force to create diplomacy. However, Israel is believed to be looking at a much longer game here. Reports suggest its focus extends far beyond temporary military strikes and includes permanent weakening Iran's military capability and regional groups that are backed by Iran. Houthis, Hezbollah's, their best friend. But that difference, it really matters. Why? Because every additional week of conflict means higher oil prices, greater uncertainty in financial market and continued instability across the Gulf. And here Iran has repeatedly shown that if tension escalates, it could respond by targeting military installation, energy infrastructure and shipping lane throughout the region. And that is why global investors are watching diplomacy just as closely as they are watching missiles. For millions of Indians working in the Gulf and thousands of professionals who are working in the United States, prolonged instability, it does not remain a foreign policy issue. It influences aviation, logistics, it influences inflation, remittances, and even your job security. The coming weeks could determine whether this crisis moves towards negotiations or maybe enter an even more dangerous phase. Sometimes a single photograph, it can create a completely different story, right? Over the past few days, images of an American KC-135 refueling aircraft leaving Israel after months of repairs went viral across social media. The caption, very dramatic. Some claim that aircraft had been destroyed by Iran. Others said it proved America's military was collapsing in West Asia, and even few, they called it evidence that Washington was losing the war. But as always, the truth, that is far less dramatic than the headlines. So here's what actually happened. The aircraft had been grounded for several months after suffering severe damage during an aerial refueling mission earlier this year. Military engineers spent maybe months repairing it by replacing major structural component before finally clearing it for flight. Recently, it successfully departed Israel, flew to the United Kingdom for additional inspections, and then it continued its journey back to the US. So, was it a combat victory for Iran? No. Was it a proof that American air power has collapsed? Again, no. But the incident does reveal something important here. Modern wars are not only expensive because of missiles or fighter jets. They are expensive because maintaining military equipment has become incredibly complex. Repairing one aircraft can take months, require specialized parts, sourced from different nations, and cost millions of dollars. And every additional dollar spent on defense, it eventually affects the global economy. Well, governments borrow more money, defense budget continue to rise, public spending shifts away from other sectors. Well, that's one of the reasons why markets remain nervous whenever tension in West Asia increases. Well, for immigrants, this uncertainty has real consequences. In fact, for Americans too. Oil prices remain elevated, air routes continue to change, travel insurance could cost more, business delay investment, hiring decision becomes slower, and yes, currencies continue reacting to every new military development. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why it is very important not to judge an entire conflict based on one viral image. Wars are far more complicated than a single photograph that you see on internet today. And yes, while military rumors continue dominating the headlines, another development could reshape the future of entire West Asia. And it revolves around just one man. Israeli Prime Minister Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu.